full moon in Aries is the perfect time to reconnect with the self within a more partner-focused Libra season. Hi, I'm Megan, I'm astrologer. Please subscribe and like, and let's just get right into it. This full moon in Aries is going to be Sunday, October 9th at 4:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can do your full moon practices within a few days on either side of the full moon. Before we get too into it, why even care? Why even align? The moon has a roughly 4-week cycle starting with the full moon and culminating 2 weeks later into the full moon and then diminishing right back into that new moon where this cycle begins again. People act differently during the full moon, and you can ask any nurse or maybe anyone that's ever fished under the full moon, and there is a lot more activity and life and just energy floating around during the full moon. And it makes sense that it's in our DNA because before there were electronics, there was the moon. So naturally the moon is a more energetically charged time when we're trying to get stuff done. These practices are designed to help you align with and not fight with the new and full moon. So that's just my spiel. You can check out my full and new moon guides. The new moon is generally a time of introspection, a time to plan and plant seeds, whereas the full moon is a time to harvest and to see how those actions you've taken during the past 2 weeks have turned out for you. The full moon is an energetic height, a spotlight before diminishing into the new moon again. So that's why we do our shadow work during the full moon. Everything's illuminated so you can't hide anything. For every full moon, the sun and moon are in opposition, so it gives us that tension between both the sun sign, which this month is Libra, and the moon sign. This full moon will be in Aries. Aries is a fire sign and it is a cardinal sign, which means it's really great at taking action and starting things, but maybe not so great at finishing them and seeing them through. Aries' glyph is the ram, and if you know anyone with strong Aries placements, this could not make more sense because Aries is very stubborn, very bulldozing, very aggressive of an energy. As Aries is ruled by Mars, and this is a bit of a correction corner. Mars is the Roman god of war and Aries is the Greek god of war. Throwing it back to my Aries new moon video, which I'll link here. I got that wrong, my bad. Aries is a very aggressive and assertive sign. As such, it rules the first house of the zodiac, which your ascendant begins. So it is the first house of the self, appearance, and beginnings. So this month, check to see what's in your first house and see if you're aligning with the higher or lower vibration of that sign. It's also a good time to check to see what your Mars placement is. So as Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is the planet of sort of aggression and how you take action. So check to see what is your Mars sign this month. For example, my Mars is in Cancer, and honestly for me, this is probably like my least favorite placement, you know, for me. Let me know in the comments below if you have another placement that you think is worse. I'm chill most of the time, but when I get unhinged, I'm unhinged, you know that, meh. Anyway, so this one, check to see what is in your first house and what your Mars sign is. Aries is a very divine masculine, action-driven, passionate sign. You know, that hot-headed, fiery ram. To me, Aries is kind of like the pinnacle of fire signs. Honestly, I like kind of simp for Aries a little bit, but maybe that's just because I'm very Libra and I love when someone else takes more action and is decisive. Aries and Libra are probably my favorite opposition signs because they're so different but also kind of similar, and they really balance each other out, as Libra is very feminine and Aries is very masculine. Aries also governs your sports and competitiveness. So if anyone has a lot of prominent Aries placements, they're probably very competitive and might not want to challenge them to any sort of competition. This full moon in Aries is a great time to look at some of the lower or shadow sides of both sun sign Libra and the moon sign Aries. So some shadow sides of Aries is they might take action without really thinking at all. Libra on the low side is overthinking and overthinking before they make a decision, whereas Aries is not thinking at all and just doing the thing. So when you combine both of them, they are really great and really balance each other out. Another shadow of Aries is they might be a little bit hot-headed. They are aggressive, especially when they tend to get frustrated. Aries energy, when it feels stagnant or it doesn't have room to breathe, can get really feisty. You know, those cartoons of like, you know, the steam kind of coming out of the ears? That is like such a weakness of Aries. Whereas on the flip side of shadow of Libra is they might be a little bit emotionally detached. They might have the tendency towards just ghosting and then completely not giving an F about whatever that thing is. So this month, just check to see if you're aligning with the higher or lower vibrations of either of those signs. Some crystals that you can incorporate, and you can hold them while you're meditating or just place them in strategic points of the house. I really love placing black tourmaline in the corners of my house for a little bit more protection. Anyway, some crystals you can incorporate are black tourmaline, hematite, fire quartz, howlite, argonite, and carnelian. And some colors you can incorporate into your glamour magic or your altar are reds and blacks. As far as like what to wear during the full moon goes, I really associate leather with Aries. You know, a red leather pant or like a cool jacket moment with a red lip. Do a look that's really bold and like makes you stand out in a room. Whatever you're doing that Aries full moon, put on an outfit that you know heads are gonna turn when you walk into that room. That brings it back to that Aries, that spotlight on the self, that first house energy. And now getting into some rituals we can do. And these are all very practical rituals. I'm not one to do a ton of spell work. I like to do things that have kind of a concrete result, you know, we're keeping it practical here. So some rituals you can do are to cross 3 things off of your to-do list. Now you can cross them off by just saying, okay, these don't align with me anymore, or you can cross them off by actually doing them. Whatever it is, now is your time to really refine and narrow down that to-do list. You know me, I love the number 3, so we are releasing 3 things. We either finish them, check them off, or we don't need them anymore. Get them off of your list so that you can make space for whatever aligns with you more these days. Another great ritual is a burning release ritual, as Aries is the fire sign. We're going to do this ritual with a little bit of a fall twist though. I want you to go out and collect a bunch of leaves and just foliage, something that you can write on, because instead of paper this month, we're going to write things we want to release on these lovely leaves, as we just had the equinox and Samhain is right around the corner. Now is a great time to incorporate a little bit of that fall spirit if you're in the northern hemisphere. Take those leaves you collected and write things that you want to release, whatever they are. It could be people, could be habits. Take those leaves and we're going to burn them. Now do it in a fire pit or a fire safe bowl. Do it outside. Be careful when you're doing anything involving fire, because you seriously do not want to mess with like a house fire. I see some YouTubers that have like just like open candles in the background, just like unattended, just vibing. I can't with that. I don't know. I just bought a house, so I'm not trying to burn it down. Anyway, there's your spiel on fire safety for the day and for this Aries full moon, as Aries is already a fire sign and there are a lot of placements in air signs during this full moon. Just be careful and don't let things get too fiery. Another great ritual for this full moon is to do a full-on sweat session workout. And I recommend breaking a sweat every full moon, just because the energy can get kind of stagnant and weird and frustrated if you don't break a sweat. But this Aries full moon, take pre-workout if you take pre-workout, and do a workout. Like do like a 2-hour workout that you can't walk after. Harness that Aries take action, go, go, go energy and really exhaust your body and reset that energy and give yourself all those good feeling hormones. This is your time to do it, and you can do whatever type of workout makes you happiest. I have some dance cardio videos on my channel that I will link here, but seriously use this Aries energy and get yourself like a good workout and get that body, that first house, that self feeling real nice. Another ritual idea, as Aries is associated so much with that self, is to write down a list of your insecurities and then write affirmations that are the opposite of them. One of your insecurities can be, I'm shy. Then your affirmation can be, I'm confident, and write them in that I am format. Write at least 5 or so and then stick them somewhere that you'll see them pretty much every day. I like to keep mine below my monitor at work. So many of our insecurities are just these stories that we've made up about ourselves that might not be based in reality. This month, really try and release those insecurities. Let that Aries confidence flow through you. I am also giving you the invitation this full moon to go out. Go out. Go to the club, go dance. Aries and Libra are such interpersonal signs, and the full moon is the perfect time to go out and dance. Go somewhere and let yourself be seen and just have fun and let loose. This full moon is the perfect time to get that last partying out of your system, especially as it is going to get colder over the next few months. So hit up that bar, dance on that table, and have fun. Aries rules the solar plexus, so for yoga this month, I recommend doing a heated vinyasa flow with a lot of sun salutations just to keep that energy moving and flowing. And some journaling questions are, what are some past versions of yourself that no longer resonate with your higher purpose? What activities give you energy? What activities drain you? In what area of life do you need to be more selfish? What would your 8-year-old self be doing right now? When was the last time you were in a flow state? What motivates you to begin things? What are some external challenges you have faced? What are some internal challenges you have faced? And what do you want to be remembered for? And some tarot questions are, what energies do I need to find my purpose? What challenges will help me grow? And how can I achieve my purpose? For the tarot questions, I personally do a 3-card spread every full moon. So that's why the questions kind of have a past, present, future-ish format. I'm also a writer tarot purist. Let me know in the comments below if you are too, or maybe you have another deck you like. I'm always interested in learning more about tarot. Fun fact, I've actually been doing tarot since like middle school. My dad taught me and is like into this, so shout out Dad if you're watching. Love you. I hope you enjoyed this full moon in the fiery, aggressive, assertive, masculine sign of Aries. Some themes around this full moon are going to be connecting back with the self and your purpose. I really am a fool for Aries energy, so let me know in the comments below if you have any prominent Aries placements. This video is also going to kick off October, and I'm going to be posting a ton in October, so please hit that subscribe button if you would like to stick around and see some lovely astrology content. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful full moon, and I will see you in the next one.